All right, let's dive into something that's at the heart of literally every business out there. I mean, from your favorite local coffee shop all the way up to massive global companies. And no, it's not just about boring numbers and endless spreadsheets. It's actually a special kind of language, and today we're going to decode it together.
Just think about that for a second. What if there was a secret language that could spill all of a company's secrets? You know, a language that, if you could just understand it, would tell you everything about its health, where it's been, and maybe even where it's going. So what is this powerful, universal language?
Well, it turns out this secret language isn't so secret after all. It's accounting. Yep, accounting. It's the system businesses use to take all their complicated day-to-day activities and translate them into a clear story. It's all about communicating that vital financial info in a way that pretty much anyone can get a handle on.
Okay, so there's the textbook definition. Sounds a little technical, right? Identifying, recording, classifying. It's basically laying out a super structured process, a set of rules for how you're supposed to speak this language so that everyone's on the same page. But what does all that actually mean when the rubber hits the road?
Let's boil it all down. In simple terms, this whole language is designed to answer three really basic but super important questions. First, what does a business own? Its stuff. We call those assets. Second, who does it owe money to? Those are its liabilities. And finally, the big one. When all is said and done, is it actually making any money? That's your profit or your loss. See, it's pretty straightforward when you look at it like that.
Okay, so if we're sticking with this idea that accounting is a language, then it's got to have rules, right? It needs a structure. Well, that's exactly what the accounting process is. Think of it as the grammar of the language. It's the step-by-step guide you follow to make sure you're speaking clearly and, most importantly, accurately.
And here are the 5 key steps of that grammar. Let's stick with our coffee shop example. You walk in and buy a latte. Step 1, the accountant identifies that transaction. It's a sale. Step 2, they record it in the books. Step 3, they classify it, putting it in the coffee sales bucket with all the others. Then, at the end of the month, step 4, they summarize thousands of those sales into one big number. And finally, the really crucial part, step 5, they interpret it. What does it all mean? Are sales up, down? This 5-step grammar is basically the engine that makes all of accounting run.
So once you've got the grammar down, this is where the fun starts. You can actually begin to create things. You can tell stories. And in the world of business, those stories are the financial reports, the documents that reveal just about everything you'd want to know about how a company is doing.
And this is so important because it shows accounting isn't just about bean counting, It's a full-blown information system. It takes all this raw data, every single sale, every purchase, every bill, and runs it through that 5-step grammar we just talked about. And what comes out the other side? Something incredibly useful, a clear, organized report.
So what are these reports exactly? Well, you can think of them as the main books on a business's bookshelf. And the 3 big bestsellers that everyone talks about are the income statement, the balance sheet, and the cash flow statement. Each one tells a really unique and absolutely vital part of the company's story.
Let's start with the income statement. This one's like the action-packed chapter. It tells you the story of what happened over a specific period of time, say a month or a whole year. It lines up all the money that came in against all the money that went out, and at the end, it reveals the bottom line. Did they make a profit or a loss?
The balance sheet is totally different. If the income statement is a movie, the balance sheet is a photograph. It's a snapshot. It freezes one single moment in time and shows you a perfect picture of what the company owns versus what it owes, right on that specific day. It's a snapshot of its financial health.
Right. So you've got these stories, these reports. But who are they for? Every story needs an audience. And these financial stories are read by all sorts of different people. And each one is looking for something a little different to help them make some big decisions. So who's actually reading this stuff?
This breaks it down perfectly. You've basically got 2 main groups. First, you have your internal users. These are the people inside the company, managers, owners, even employees. They're reading these reports to figure out how to plan things and keep costs under control. Then you have the external users. These are the outsiders, investors, banks, even the government. They're looking at the exact same reports, but they're asking different questions, like, should I invest in this company? Or can they pay back a loan? It's the same story, just read from different perspectives.
Okay, so we've covered what this language is, the grammar it uses, and who the audience is. But now let's get to the real heart of it. Why does any of this actually matter? What's the ultimate point of it all?
Well, as you can see here, it's not just for one thing. It serves a bunch of crucial purposes. It's way more than just writing numbers down. I mean, sure, it's for tracking performance, protecting assets, and making sure you're following the law. But just look at that biggest slice of the chart, decision-making. At the end of the day, that is the #1 goal.
And that really is the bottom line, isn't it? The whole system, the rules, the stories, all of it, it's all designed to lead to one single thing: making smarter choices. It doesn't matter if you're the CEO, an investor, or an employee trying to understand your company better. Knowing this language gives you the power to make rational decisions based on facts, not just on a gut feeling. So let's do a super quick recap of the key takeaways here. First, accounting is the language of business. Got it? Second, it follows a 5-step grammar to create financial stories. Third, those stories have a wide audience, both inside and outside the company. And finally, and most importantly, understanding this language leads to smarter financial decisions. Simple as that.
Look, we've just cracked open the door to understanding how pretty much any business really operates. This language, it's not a secret anymore. You have the key. So the only question left for you is this: what business stories are you going to start reading?